afternoon, Central Florida. Welcome to Happenings in History with my friend Kelly.
Hello, everybody out there in Q-Land. We're so glad you're with us on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Not too hot, not too
nice
cold. It's very nice. And we're just glad to be here. We have an exciting show for you today. But we also have H.K. Edgerton here with us. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so very much for having me. I feel so honored to be here.
And he's got a very interesting story to tell us.
Wonderful. HK, how are you, sir?
Better million, sir. I hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, everybody's doing fine here, and welcome to the show.
Yes, we're so glad to have you.
Absolutely. You know, Mr. Edgerton here has been around for a long time, fighting for statues and Confederate heritage, all American heritage. You're an Army veteran yourself, aren't you?
I am a United States Army veteran that taught basic and advanced electronics at Fort Monmouth, New Jersey.
Well, thank you for your service.
Very good. And where were you born? Where are you from? Tell us a little bit about yourself, HK.
A handsome young man, born February 18th, 1948, in the city of Asheville, Buncombe County, North Carolina. I was a student council representative, a student regent at the University of Minnesota, where I co-founded the Black Student Center and became the chairman of its board of directors. I have so many things that I have done that would probably take more time than I'd like to take up.
I know your biography is incredible.
Yeah, talking about that. I really certainly do want to talk about what happened to me here as a veteran. For over 50 years, I have gone to a Veterans Day ceremony somewhere. And during all that time, I've always donned the uniform of the Southern soldier and carried his flag because he's an American soldier, one that doesn't very seldom gets the attention that he deserves. He, and I say he, and I mean she as well. Because as American veterans, they don't want to talk about the fact that the Confederate battle flag is an American flag. And that soldier is an American soldier, declared so by the United States Congress. I came here this weekend basically because I had been asked to be an expert witness in the NAACP lawsuit against Shenandoah High School because they wanted to name the school after General Thomas Stonewall Jackson. And what people don't understand is that General Jackson was a dear friend to the African people. He had talked many times with General Lee about the fact that we can't free the slaves, but we can do some things that when he does become free or moving toward freedom, to put him on the right highway to do it. Black students came from all across the South to go to his school when it was against the law to teach a black man or woman to read.
But Stonewall Jackson did it.
He did it.
Yep.
Yes, he also taught Sunday school to them.
Yes, ma'am. When he was away fighting, when the train came in to the city, people all over the city, all over as far away as you could think of, to hear him talk about or read about what he would say about the battles. Not one time did he talk about the battles. First thing he asked about was, how are my black babies doing at the school? And always sent a silver dollar to buy a book, prominently the Christian Bible, for them. And the thing that's interesting for me is that, yeah, I'm sorry, baby, I'm emotional over here about this thing. They came across the land of other plantation owners. In the morning, you could look out and see black folks coming from everywhere across the land. Not one time did any one of those landowners say, hey, wait a minute, you're trespassing. It was always, good morning, can we get you something to eat? Because they knew General Jackson and Christian ethics he had, and that of his wife. So they did everything they could do to help General Jackson, to help these babies. I also was the president and vice president of the NAACP in the city of Asheville,
North Carolina.
North Carolina. And the thing that hurts me the most is that how can you ask me to turn my back on a friend? General Jackson was a friend, up and down across the board.
Go ahead. It's okay. I know it's a very emotional subject for you there.
It is a very emotional
Yes.
subject because, my dad was a Baptist preacher as well. My mom was the only woman to ever receive a Confederate state funeral. People came from all over the country to attend my mom's funeral. I remember when I walked to Texas, and I certainly should have mentioned that too, in the historic March across Dixie, they saw me walking 20 miles a day, 6 days a week, donning the uniform of a Southern soldier and carrying his flag. And I can remember when I came home, I'm strutting around, and my mom said, "What you strutting so hard for?" I said, "Mom, I just walked to Texas." And the question she asked of me was, are my babies still being told, take off that T-shirt, take off those shoes, take off those earrings that bear the Southern Cross, the Confederate battle flag? And I had to hold my head down and say, "Yes, Mom." And she said, "Son, get out of here and go do something to help those babies."
For our audience out there, Kelly, Mr. H.K. Edgerton is a Black American, African American,
Yes.
fighting for the Southern cause and the relationships that were between the Southern whites and the Southern blacks, and that's where your big education, what you're trying to teach the people out there.
Both black and white.
That's right.
And our babies, so many of our babies don't even know. I heard some folks talking about Dr. Alexander Darnes and Kirby Smith. They don't know these names. But I do want to make sure that I mention one thing. I came here, and thank God, and I thank you, Mr. Attorney McAllister, for inviting me here. Every year since 1972, I have attended a Veterans Day ceremony somewhere. And I've always received a great deal of love from the veterans and the people because they understand that this Confederate soldier is an American veteran as well. Well, I came this weekend, or last week, on Veterans Day, to go to an event that was being held for Veterans Day ceremony.
In Hillsborough County.
Hillsborough County. Now, I'm going, a lot of the reason why is because a dear friend of mine was laying a wreath at the missing man's table. And, here I am in my uniform and my flag in one hand. And, of course, I'm going to get out of the car while she's putting the flag up, or the wreath up. And I'm standing there, and the flag was unfurled because all I'm doing is standing as she does this. People were coming over to me, all colors, asking me to take pictures with them, sign this, sign that, and I would. One lady, who was one of the hosts, asked that I stand 2 feet back because she didn't want somebody to come around the corner and run into me. I gladly said, "Yes, ma'am." Well, while I'm standing there with my flag unfurled,
Confederate
flying
flag,
like, yes, Confederate battle flag, flying like a postage stamp, a gentleman came around and started talking to me. At the time, I didn't know that he was one of the main speakers. I talked about his pretty green suit, and he talked about my pretty gray suit. Well, it came time for the program to begin. So now I furled my flag because I didn't want to show any kind of disrespect. And it's not disrespect, but I didn't want anybody to think that. So I go into the arena where everybody is sitting down, and most of the chairs in front of me were reserved. And the host introduced a lot of people that were there and talked about some of the reasons why the veterans were there. And she said, "Well, we're going to do what they do across the country. we're going to recognize the soldiers from different branches of the United States Armed Forces. And she called out the Space Force first, and nobody stood. So everybody started laughing because there were no Space Force soldiers
Not
there.
yet, yes.
Not yet. And she said, I want you to stand, when I call your branch, I want you to stand up and raise your hand and give out a shout for the branch that you were in. Well, when she called out the United States Army, lightning went through my pants. And I'm raised my hand because I'm a very proud veteran, not just a veteran, not just a Southern veteran, but an American veteran. And she said, I want you, everybody to remain standing, and we're going to sing your branch's song. Because everybody in the branch, everybody, Army, Navy, they all have their own song. And I want you to know it was a very proud moment for me. And we began singing. And I hadn't got maybe 4 words out when all of a sudden I see all these men with pistols surround me. And I'm wondering to myself, well, what's going on? Now I want you to understand, I still have my flag furled in my left hand. And he says to me, one of them, you and that flag got to get. Well, I don't do getting too well.
Why?
And I asked him, I said, why? They don't, you're going to have to go. Either you're going to go or we're going to usher you out. So I stopped, and I figured I better give him a history lesson first.
And this is during the event.
The event was still going on.
Oh,
I mean,
my gosh.
we hadn't even finished the song.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I didn't have to stop singing because they right there. I'm standing in front of the stage, and I told him, I said, wait a minute, sir. This is an American flag. The highest-ranking general, General Douglas MacArthur, in a ticker tape parade, one of the largest ever in New York City, had 3 people in his honor guard. One was on the left of him was his command flag. The one in the center was Stars and Stripes, and to the right of him was the Confederate battle flag. Well, I was still trying to talk to these men that's got me surrounded and trying to get them to understand that this is an American flag. I'm an American soldier. And I told them about how when the Korean War had started, that the Stars and Stripes could not be flown. And on the flag that flew beside the Korean national flag was the battle flag and the Korean national. One of them pushed me and said, you're going to have to get. He's going to get or we're going to throw you out.
And just to go back in case you just tuned in, he's talking about a Veterans Day service just last week.
In Hillsborough County, where during the middle of the event, he stood as an Army veteran, United States Army veteran, and the security officers came during the event while you were singing to take you away.
Yes, and I just want to add, if you'd like to call in to comment or ask a question, it's 352-315-1410. We welcome your calls. Go ahead.
When they tried to snatch the flag out of my hand, I, even though I'm a heart patient now, and I'm probably only up to about 50%. If I had been at 52%, we would have had a battle on our hands.
Yep.
But I was able to hold on to my flag, and one of my dear friends said, he can't just walk out of here. I have to go get my car and bring it around to pick him up, because I want to know where is it that you want me to go now, because now I'm ready to go. And they pointed to the woods. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So anyway, they sent this obelisk golf carts put together, probably about 20, 30 golf carts. I said, we're going to take you out of here. So now I'm thinking to myself, let's just go HK. This is a Veterans Day event. You don't want to do anything that would dishonor these men and women. So I go over and sit down in one of the seats. There's really no place for my flag but to stand it up and hold it. It had already started to unfurl. The young black lady that was driving it, she looked so sad. And she said, "Where's your car?" And I told her it was in front of the display, where the speakers were speaking. She was doing about 30 miles an hour. I'm serious about
Wow.
that. That thing was getting, and then all of a sudden my flag just unfurled. Well, I'm trying to hold it because my flag, when it's in the wind, you better have a hold on it. So, unbeknownst to me, these men had followed me, and I heard one of them say, "We told you to put that damn flag down." So now I don't even care what they're saying. I'm through with them because I have been honorable. I've tried to talk to you, and this is the way you've treated me. We would later go to the 5th District of the Sheriff's Department, and they would tell me, "Well, Mr. Edgerton, you can file a complaint if you like, but you don't have any First Amendment rights." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "No, you don't. In this county, if somebody hires out a force like these men were, because I thought they really was sheriff and police, they're the only ones got the First Amendment. They can do anything they want to you."
Excuse me?
Boy, that's
We live in America.
Well,
yeah.
well, darling,
This is really terrible.
I haven't cried since my mom passed away, and there were tears. I mean, I didn't know that I was crying because here I am, a United States Army veteran who taken the oath of office to protect foreign and domestic, protect our country against foreign and domestic enemies. Here I was facing what I thought was a police force at the time. These men who were telling me that I have no First Amendment rights. It was one of the saddest times, and I'm going to tell you, I have been in some sad times. But this is one of the saddest moments for me to hear that. And for them to do, they disgraced me because there were a lot of people who didn't know what was going on. They disgraced me in front of all these people. They made it seem like I was some kind of criminal. But anyway, I didn't want to have to lay that off on your listening public because I've enjoyed myself so much today. I've enjoyed the radio program. I enjoyed the veterans that were here prior to me coming on. And I've enjoyed every one of you all. And I've enjoyed the owner. God bless you, sir. So that's basically my story.
Wow.
Well, we've got to do better as Americans than that.
Yeah.
That is horrible.
Especially
Yeah.
at a Veterans Day event like this, to a veteran. But like you say, even the history itself. Here you are with the battle flag. Confederate soldiers are American soldiers, in our event at Tavares Cemetery and Arboretum for our Veterans Day. We have 3 Confederate veterans buried there, and they were unequal with everyone else, all the other veterans of that day. And this sounds like one of those.
Wow.
It's only the second time this has happened. Third.
Only twice, I think.
You weren't here for one of them.
Well, I think you triggered an emergency broadcast
Boy,
system.
oh boy, HK, great.
And it really is an emergency because we have to do better with our freedoms and our rights and our First Amendment rights. This is just, and I don't know how anybody can hire somebody and then cut your First Amendment rights. That's just
That's what he said.
ridiculous. So I heard that you guys are going to have some kind of rally for this.
Yes, tomorrow, Saturday, 9 a.m. at the Hillsborough Veterans Park, which is on Highway 301, just south of the fairgrounds there in Tampa. There will be a rally to support HK and his action against Hillsborough County.
That's wonderful.
So anybody that can make it there, we really appreciate your support.
Absolutely. I think it's an
Yeah.
important thing there because there's so much involved with it, not only the disrespect to HK, disrespect to the Army and our veterans, disrespect to the heritage as well. And I
Right.
think that's so there's a lot involved within this rally.
Oh, it's been what, over 160 years since the Civil War, and it's amazing to me that people are still having hard feelings about this, to the point that they can't allow people to have their heritage, whatever it is, North, South. We need to come together as Americans and appreciate where we came from, and not treat people badly. It's just it's beyond me.
But I'm so glad you said that, because even at that event, every black soldier came over to hug me while I was there. I am also co-founder of the American Veterans to Defend the Arlington National Memorial as well. We, as black Americans, and I certainly want my white American friends to understand this. There's a love that existed between black folks and white folks in the Southland of America that folks don't want to talk about. It's there, still there. We just get beat down so bad. Our children get beat down so bad. I love this radio station for bringing some history in, because they don't know. They really don't.
They don't. They really don't know the true history.
Well, this movement in cemeteries is part of cancel culture in general, and taking grave markers out of cemeteries is just a means of dividing the American public, kind of like what Mao's Red Guard did in China and the Nazis did in Poland. You have to control the future, you have to control the past. And by wiping out the public's memory of anything that went on, they'll be able to control them in the future.
Yes, I can say that it is much more divided today than when I grew up in the South in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We used to get together. I mean,
That's correct.
I know there was bad times in the past, and there's been things that maybe should have been better, but we have to do better than this.
Oh,
We have
absolutely.
to stop being so divided, and we have to reach out to each other as Americans and appreciate our country.
Absolutely. And same with the fighting and trying to get the General Edmund Kirby Smith statue into the Lake County Historical Museum. Basically, I was really kind of surprised the opposition. I thought it was a great opportunity to bring this thing into a museum, to educate, to tell a story that what HK and Dave here are trying to bring out to the people, and why they're trying to preserve historical monuments from being taken away from people, to making sure the kids have a proper education in the history of the North and South. 250 years ago, we'll celebrate next year, is the founding of our country. But still today, that 4 years there between 1861 and 1865, those 4 years were so critical to our country. And I think we're missing the educational point of those 4 years. And these are the gentlemen right here that are bringing it back to us, trying to make people understand their ignorance, trying to make them overcome their ignorance to what happened in those 4 years. Now, if there's anybody who wants to contact HK himself, what are the different things you have, the Twitters, what social media could people contact you, HK?
Me at my website, well, not my website, but my email.
Substack.
Substack? Is that what it is? Substack?
They're working me real hard. You can always email me at hk.edgerton@gmail.com.
hk.edgerton@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
That's easy enough.
That is. It's easy enough.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much. Thank you, dear.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah,
I'm glad to have you on the show.
I'm glad you came, because I was going to have a hard time sitting here with two bad-looking men and no pretty woman.
you got to have a soft spot somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Come on.
Absolutely. And the story is we thank you for your service, not only in our country. Thank you for the
Yes.
service and the education of our youth. I know you love the youth, as Kelly does, love teaching the youth. They love you as well. The children out there love you, and they take to you for the things you're teaching them, and they know your honesty and your integrity. And I've always appreciated that in the many years I've known you as well. I wish we got to see each other a little bit more, HK, but you're up there in North Carolina most of the time.
See, now you're trying to give me the big head.
Get you to Florida there.
Oh, that's it, everybody. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll be back next Friday. Bye.